Sometimes life lets you down and you feel that you are done. You just want a morning run because the fun is all gone. But sometimes life makes you proud when you look far and wide, when you leave the pain behind and see the brighter side. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new you.
The new channel. The new channel. The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following show are those of the hosts, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello everyone, this is the new channel where we help you see the new you. This is Dr. Mike Jewell live streaming here in the beautiful Martin, Tennessee, and my co-host.
This is Bert Devera, physical therapist, live from Corpus Christi, Texas, and welcome to iBusiness.
Hello,
Hey, what's up, Mike?
everyone. What's going on, Bert?
Not much, man. Busy. I'm wearing scrubs. I'm helping out. We got quite a few referrals today, so it's a good problem. So business is good.
It's a happy problem, huh? Did you even
That's right.
wash your hand? You even changed your clothes, man.
Oh yeah, this is a dark blue. I was wearing a light blue the other day. You're not
That's
observing, Mike.
I took a shower already, brother. I already took off my scrubs and put on some shirt. By the way, shout out to Overflow. Overflow is actually the church that we go to in here in McKenzie, Tennessee. But good morning in the Philippines. Good evening here in the States. Hello, everyone. Oh, Mr.
Hello,
Juan.
everyone.
Gosh, he's watching. Hey, Bert, I saw your post in our group, Alternative Careers group, that you got 8 new referrals. Oh gosh, what's going on with that? I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, how did you get it?
Well, business is picking up. Like I said before, we have a lot of colleagues that are worried. Hey, are we going to get work? Are we going to get enough business? I'm telling you, with or without COVID, patients are going to need rehab. We have a lot of elderlies that are still going to need physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy. Okay? So COVID is not going to stop us to help our elderlies, to help our patients. They need us. So don't get into this, thought of, oh gosh, with this COVID, I no longer have work. You have to find work. You have to go out there and look for your options. Simple as that.
That is so powerful. I always like the quote that you always share, that in the middle of crisis lies an opportunity. In the middle of a crisis lies an opportunity. And like what Bert said, they will always need our services. At the same time, I mean, irregardless of whatever business that you go through or do is there's always opportunities out there. All you need to do is just open up your mind. You know, our mind is just like a parachute. Am I pronouncing that right, Bert? Parachute?
Yeah,
Your
that's
mind is
right.
just like a parachute. It only works when it's open. It only works when it's open. So speaking of open, I want to do like the show that we have here, the Usapang Beauty, you know, where they talk about beauty stuff and everything. I'm
All
gonna put
right.
on my special lipstick for today, courtesy of Vaseline. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna be talking about beauty stuff today. This is how you put on a makeup. Oh, what do you call this? A lipstick or a lip balm or whatever you call that. Let's go ahead, courtesy of Vaseline, whatever. I'm gonna put that in my
How much
mouth.
did they pay you, Mike? How much did Vaseline pay you?
Well, actually, I paid them $1 to buy put this in my mouth. Oh gosh, I feel like so dry, so dry. It's hot here right now, Bert. What's your temperature there?
I think we're in like 70s today. It's not that hot. So,
70s, just like my grade back home in the
yeah.
Philippines.
Well, my coffee is hot. So,
Is it? You're drinking
yeah.
coffee?
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh gosh. Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. All right. Whatever. Actually, I was supposed to do this too live and put it on my face, but never
Mike,
mind.
focus. We're not into beauty show right now, Mike. Focus.
Beauty show. All right. Well, let's go back to our topic and our interview for today. Where did that go? All right. We got a special guest for tonight. Yep. Our guest for tonight is Marianne Renner, is a transformational leadership coach, author, and keynote speaker. She has inspired thousands of leaders to take action and become all they were meant to become. Her effective techniques for problem solving and insights to personal behaviors have made her highly sought after coach in helping businesses reach their goal. And Marianne understands the importance of setting goals and having a clear plan to reach those goals. She has owned 2 businesses founded and not for profit organization for at-risk youth, and was a bodybuilding champion. No wonder she's so physically fit, Bert, and highly sought after fitness instructor, and having led 2 youth dance team to win gold medals in the National Junior Olympics. And before I put down her name and everything like that, she's actually part of that mastermind group that I attend. So without further ado, can you spell that? Without further ado, our guest for tonight is Coach Marianne Renner.
How you doing, Marianne?
Hey, you guys, it is so super awesome to be here. I can't tell you how excited I am. I mean, I really am. This is so much fun.
Thank you for joining us tonight. My name is Bert, and I'm glad to formally meet you. Mike has been talking about you a lot, about your presence in their mastermind group. So that's really great. So we're happy to have you tonight, Marianne.
Thanks, Bert and Mike. I've known Mike for a while, and it's so great to meet you, Bert. Thank you so much for having me here.
That's awesome.
It is our pleasure, Coach. And could you tell us a little bit about yourself, Coach? What do you do for your business, and what are the businesses that you serve? I mean, I see you all over in Facebook. You know, you do the speaking engagement all over. And it's just amazing how you really not only change yourself, but change other people and corporations. So how do you do that? I mean, how do you start a business like that?
Oh my gosh, Mike. So yeah, I am a transformational leadership and business coach, a keynote speaker and author. And I help leaders go from chaos to clarity so they can become all they were meant to become. I help folks start their businesses, grow their businesses, a lot of leadership training and development. And, you know, how I started was working in the corporate world, and I was asked to fill a role in something called continuous improvement. And I didn't know what that was, but I really liked the sound of continuous improvement. So that's where I really started. I would work with leaders, help them identify a problem, put together a team to solve that problem, and then I would teach them a set of tools and methodologies to do what we call root cause problem solving. You know, when you have a problem and you think you solve it, and it either doesn't really go away, or it goes away for a little while and it comes back. It's usually because you didn't solve it at the root. So I took a lot of that experience, and when that project was over, I started my own business, and I love working with leaders and teams and helping them do the same thing, root cause problem solving in their businesses and in their lives.
That's awesome. That's just awesome. I love what you said when you said the word transformational, because I think that's the main key. If a business does not transform anything, then to me that business is not a good business. And I myself, I'm a coach, Marianne. I coach other physical therapists, occupational therapists, and speech therapists how to start their own practice. And I always tell them, look, this business that I'm teaching you is about your transformation from being an employee to becoming a business owner. So without the transformation, then I'm not making any impact. Now, as far as what you said, when you said sometimes you think the problem is solved, and before you know it, it's not. I can totally relate. I'm a married man, and sometimes I thought between me and my wife, the problem was solved, and here she is trying to give me the eye. I'm like, I don't understand.
Let's not talk about the eye.
Yeah, I totally get it. So, and I don't know if you guys knew this, but I worked in healthcare for 14 years. And then, so where I did a lot of the continuous improvement work was in what in healthcare we call revenue cycle. So all the things that deal with insurance and billing and money. And so we would go and we would try to find a problem to solve. You know, no lack of problems there. But yeah, it's getting that root. I like to say, you know, I have a nice green lawn here with lots of pretty green grass. And, you know, every spring those yellow dandelions come up. I don't know if you have those in Tennessee or where you guys are, but if I mow the grass, it's beautiful again. But then they come back because I didn't get them at the root. And that's always the key.
Oh, wow. That is very powerful. The dandelions. Can you spell that, Bert?
D-A-N-D.
Can you just say rose? Well, before Bert asks the next question, I would just like to harp on what Marianne and Bert said about the transformation. You know, transformation is very important. You know, first, you got to recognize the leader, Optimus Prime. Second, Bert, the transformation is very, very important. You talk about the change. When you're a therapist, when you're bringing out the best in them, when you're exercising that patient, what happens to their muscle? It gets bigger, it gets stronger. And same thing with what Marianne is talking about, you know, finding that transformational thing in your life. And I like what she said about mowing the lawn. Those dandelions will continue to come out if you don't treat the root cause. It's very, very important that you find what the root cause is. What's the problem? And find the solution to it. Oh gosh, this is so awesome. This is so awesome. Bert?
Well, like I said, that's the main key in any business. If you can't create some sort of transformation with your clients, then you're not really doing them any good. So with that said, I think I need Coach Marianne to coach me. I can be your client because I want to keep improving. That's one thing that I want to do. I don't want to settle. I don't want to be complacent. And sometimes as business owners, we have a tendency to be complacent, especially when business is good, right? So I believe you as a coach have some sort of ways to keep us from being complacent and make us improve again. So how do you do that to a businessman like me or to your clients?
Yeah, such a great question, Bert. And, you know, you guys were talking in the beginning about, you know, what tough times that we're in and how I think, Mike, you said, you know, the opportunities come through the times of difficulty and transformation comes through trials. And what I always like to work on with clients is we talk about all the chaos. And as business owners, there's no lack of chaos. I mean, I got to return the text messages and the email and make the Facebook post. And now that I made the post, I got to reply to the comments that are coming in and ding dong, all this external chaos. And so we talk about those distractions. And here's the thing about distractions is they're so dangerous because they keep us busy. And if you feel busy, it creates the illusion that we're taking big action. and that we're on track for success. You know, I see you on the street. How have you been? Great. I've just been so busy. And then there's a little piece inside us that feels a sense of satisfaction. But are you busy with action or distraction? So that's what we figure out first of all. And we prioritize, you know, what is the action? What is the distraction? And we clear out all that external chaos.
Wow, that's very powerful. I can't even follow up with that.
I got a great tool. It's a prioritization tool that I use. It's called a PICK, P-I-C-K tool. And it helps people to figure out, because what people say is, you know, Marianne, I don't know what's distraction and what's action. It all feels important. So I don't know. So I've got a great tool that can help people determine, you know, the priorities. Here's what I should focus on. Here's what I should set aside. And that, so that's kind of where we start with that external chaos. But then we have to go to what I call internal chaos. And that's a far more dangerous kind of chaos. It's the stories that we write, and not with a pen and paper or a laptop, but with this. All day long, we're writing stories with every thought that goes through our mind about who we are, who we're capable of becoming, and all that we're capable of achieving in our businesses, in our personal lives, and everything in between.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Wow.
Are you sure you're
That's
not a physical therapist? Because
Not a physical therapist. I know, I'm not a good one.
I
Wow.
just wanted to harp on that, Bert, before you ask her the next question.
Sure.
So busyness is the illusion of what again? Of
So distractions are dangerous because they keep us busy. Busy creates the illusion that you're taking big action. It creates the illusion that you're on track for success.
Yep. That's what Bert always tells me. Mike, that's another distraction for your goal. I'm like, are you sure you're telling me that? And then she's like, yep, that's another distraction for you. And actually, just to tell you, Marianne, Bert is my coach. So he coaches me all the time. So he tells me everything. And he doesn't just tell, you know, just like what Dan tells us. As a coach, you just don't tell your client what they need to hear. You also have to tell them what they really need to hear, want to hear, or you know what I mean? You know, not just want to hear, but what they need to hear and what they need to do. So thank you very much for pointing that out. So
and you know, step one in helping to figure out what that is getting crystal clear on your goal or objective. Because if you don't have a clear goal or clear objective, you're just running around doing everything. But once you clear, well, what do you want? What is it that you want? You got to stop and pause before you start diving into a project and say, well, what is it that you want? Begin with the end in mind. And then everything after that, you can start to prioritize what's most likely to take me in a direct line to achieve that goal. And it seems obvious, but it's the piece that we skip the most.
amazing.
That's right. That's right. Well, Coach Marianne, that's a very, very powerful question. What do you want?
Yeah.
All right. So I always ask that to my clients as well whenever they schedule a call with me and they ask questions, but I in turn will ask them that important question. What do you really want? Do you want to be a worker or do you want to be an entrepreneur? Because if you want to be a worker, you may have 5, 6, 10 part-time jobs, like you said, so many distractions, and you think you're making progress, but at the end of the day, you're still a worker. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's your choice, if you want to work for someone. Everyone is different, to each his own, right? Yeah. But if in your mind, you want to have a business, and yet you're the only one working in your business, you don't have anybody else to delegate it with, then you realize these are external distractions. These are things that you think you're accomplishing something, but you're really not. So when they realize, wait a minute, I'm a worker, I'm not an entrepreneur. Bingo, there you go. So now if you want to be an entrepreneur, I can help you. But if you want to stay as a worker, I can't. Because my goal is to help someone to be an entrepreneur. So thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome. I love this. I'm enjoying this. I love it.
Yeah, so am I.
That's awesome. So tell us a little bit about the type of clients you work with. Do you work with business people only, CEOs, someone who has their own ongoing business, a startup, or
Yep.
what's your typical client?
I work with leaders, and they tend to be mid-level managers. And why I love working with mid-level managers is because they're often the most overlooked in terms of in their organization if they want to grow as a leader, and they're hungry for growth, and they have so much opportunity to grow. So usually when leaders come to me, they either want to grow and advance in the role that they're in or the organization that they're in, or they want to transition to a different career, or they want to start a business. And so I work typically anyone in a leadership position that falls into any of those categories.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so the problem that we're solving differs, right? I want to change careers, or, I want to get a promotion where I'm at, or I want to start a business. So, that's kind of like, I always say if we're building a house, you've got the upstairs rooms and you have the foundation. And so the upstairs rooms, those problems differ, whether we're trying to find a new role. I've got clients that have tripled their salaries just by advancing their careers. And then I have some clients that say, my dream has always been to have this business. I just never thought I could do it. And those are upstairs rooms, but what stays the same across the board is the foundation, and that's mindset. That's rewriting those stories that are going through your mind. And so that's probably, the consistency when I'm working with folks, because you want to build a brand new house, you want a beautiful kitchen with granite countertops and a nice master suite with, whirlpool tub. If you don't have a solid foundation, it all comes crashing down.
That's
so
right.
80% of the work that we do is on rewriting those stories about what you're capable of achieving. And once we do that, those upstairs rooms just, that's the easy part. That's the breeze.
Totally agree. Couldn't agree more. That's awesome. Mike?
Same thing here. We always talk about the foundation. I like what Coach Marianne said, that the when you see a house, you don't talk about the foundation because it isn't sexy. But you're looking at, the roof is so nice. You got all this nice window. You go inside, you got the granite. Bert knows this. He's like a flipper there in Texas. I'm not. I'm just a flipping guy. And foundation is very, very important, ladies and gentlemen. So speaking of foundation, I'm gonna put in the foundation on my face. And same thing with makeup, ladies and gentlemen. Just kidding. I just have this in here. I just wanted to do that. But before I keep on going, I would like to give a special shout out to Wanlu and Miss Cho Lita Esplana. Thank you very much for watching. She said good morning, watching in the Philippines from Tarlac City. And Mr. Dante, salamat. Thank you very much.
Hello, Wanlu. Hello, Dante. Hello, Lita.
There you
Welcome
go.
to the show.
All right. Bert, you want to ask the next question?
Yeah, actually, before I ask the next question, I think it's time for a quick break. We'll take a short break, guys, and don't leave. We are going to ask Coach Marianne with some more important questions. I think that's going to help you as a leader, wherever you're working, whatever is your platform right now. I think this is good for you. All right, we'll see you again. We'll have a quick break.
All right, welcome back to iBusiness, wherein we help you improve your influence and impact by being a mentor, mentor. But before I keep on going, I just would like to see. Oh, there you go. Thank you very much, Mr. Dante. Salamat. Nice discussion with amazing guests. Thank you very much, Mr. Dante. It was nice meeting you too last time in our meetup. And then Kobe Bakoy. Kobe Bakoy, thank you very much for your message. To me earlier, and you just keep it up, brother. Well, anyway, is there any special stuff that I need to announce, or are we good to go?
I think we're good to go. We want to maximize our. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. Go ahead and announce our other shows here, the new channel.
All right, so the big picture every Mondays to Friday, 7 p.m., hosted by the none other than Lloyd Luna. And then, of course, the HR hotline by Mr. Jesse Rebustillo, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, 12 p.m. The Fourth Project with Bob. That is live streaming, ladies and gentlemen, in UAE, if I'm not mistaken. And Usapang Beauty, this is what I like. That's the reason why I was showing all this beauty stuff that I have every Thursdays and Saturdays, 5:30 p.m. U-turn. She asked you to turn left, turn right, or make a U-turn every Mondays to Thursdays at 10:30 a.m. And of course, the home buyer with Dante Salamat, that good-looking guy there. Mondays and Thursdays, 4 p.m. The Puppet Stories, Tuesdays and Friday, 5 p.m. And this one, ladies and gentlemen, you got to support this. Marketplace. Thursdays and Fridays, 10 p.m. because we got to support our local businesses. It's very, very important, especially in this time that we have right now. Support local businesses, ladies and gentlemen. And then next, the YOLO, the cool lawyers, attorney Carlo and attorney Sheila. I was watching last night. They were talking about the difference between annulment and divorce. And I don't want to pronounce how he said it, but yep, it's Mondays and Thursdays, 8:30 p.m. Next is the talk, Mondays at 12 p.m. And the after shift, Wednesdays and Fridays. The press con, the town hall, and one day. Let me just highlight the town hall and one day. The town hall is every first and fourth Saturday at 7 p.m. And then the one day is every second and third Saturdays of the month at 7 p.m. Again, please watch, subscribe, and like and share. The more likes, the better, because sharing is caring. The more shares, the better. Go ahead, Bert. I'm done.
All right. Thank you, Mike, for sharing those other channels at the new channel. Thank you guys for your support. And we want to bring back Coach Marianne and maximize her time for joining us tonight. All right. So, Coach, this next question is a little bit of a deep dive into your story as a coach, because I know as entrepreneurs we all have our shares of failures, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes how we bounce back from those failures will somehow measure how tough we are as leaders, mentally, physically, emotionally, and even spiritually, correct? So if you don't mind, can you share with us your greatest failure in life and how did you bounce back?
Yeah, okay, so I'm going to share with you, and I don't know if I would say it's a failure, but I'll tell you this. The reason I like to talk so much about internal chaos is because I know firsthand how much it robs you. And my story, these internal stories we tell ourselves. My story began when I was 9 years old. I was looking eye to eye with my father. He put his arms around me and he said 3 words that forever changed my life. Mommy's in heaven. And in that instant, my story began. What's going to happen to me? Who's going to take care of me? What about me? And then my story grew. What about me? What about me? What about me? And it grew and grew into feelings of sadness, despair, fear, and loneliness. Eventually, doctors gave my story a name, depression. The first time I remember lying in my bed, tears streaming down my face, and I'm looking at the ceiling, crying out, God, please let me die in my sleep. I was 11 years old. So I spent the next several years, and I think the official diagnosis was chronic major depression. And I spent years searching for relief from those bad feelings, substance abuse, suicide attempts, hospitalizations, treatment centers. And then shortly after my 40th birthday, about 15 years ago or so, I got really serious about this idea of writing a new story, that I could change my thoughts. I could write a new story with every thought that went through my mind about who I was capable of becoming, and all that I was capable of achieving. So I started writing and writing and writing a new story about success and service and empowerment. And I saw a shift, and that's when my transformation really came. And when I got so serious, and I thought every aspect of my life transformed. Business took off, my finances, relationships, physical health, every single outcome in my life changed. And I thought, well, if it works for me, maybe it'll work for other people too. Started sharing these principles with my coaching clients and saw their lives transform, one after the other after the other. And so I don't know if I would call it a failure, but it was certainly, I fell into a deep pit and figured a way out that's unlike anything I've ever experienced before.
Wow. Wow, such a powerful story. Mike, what's your take on that?
My take on that is your test will be a testimony for other people. The struggles, ladies and gentlemen, the struggles that you're going through is actually going to be a strength someday. I mean, God didn't put Marianne's problem in during that time to not just, it's just an experience. No, those tests will become a testimony. So whatever you're going through right now, if you guys are going through a depression, sadness, despair, or whatever, I don't know. I mean, you got COVID and everything. I experienced it too. But the bigger the challenge, ladies and gentlemen, the bigger the victory. You will encounter some setbacks. But treat those setbacks as a stepping stone for the next success. You will encounter some stumbling blocks along the way. When you're walking, treat those as a stepping stone for a next success. I like what she said here. She had that depression. She had that sadness. She had this chronic major depression. I mean, don't get me wrong. Depression is real, ladies and gentlemen. It's real. I see it every day. I go to the psych hospital and I see those patients. But guess what? You have to write your own story, ladies and gentlemen. You have to write. You have to take hold. Yes, you can go to the doctor. Yes, they can give you medication. But those medication will only work, ladies and gentlemen. You listen to this. It will only work if you take it and swallow it. Same thing with the transformational leadership. Same thing if you want to change yourself. It will only work if you take it and actually swallow it. And then it will work from the inside. Healing comes from the inside. And eventually it will come out. You can get all the coaching in the world. I can pay Bert. I can pay Coach Marianne. I can pay hundreds of thousands of coaching. But if I don't take and actually swallow that pill, actually do the exercise, it's not going to do me good. There's this part in your brain called reticular activating system. You can Google it. It's called RAS, reticular activating system. So if you are watching, type in RAS, go to Google, RAS. Whatever you focus on gets magnified. And that's what we teach with our patients. Whatever they focus on gets magnified. Bert?
Wow, that's first off, Coach Marianne, thank you for sharing that part of your story. And thank you for just being vulnerable and being open. I think that helps a lot of people. When they see the openness from someone and what they've been through, sometimes we think like, I'm the only one going through this. And then you hear it from someone, you're like, oh, wait, she went through that too? And how did she bounce back? Yeah, maybe I can do that, right? So I can totally relate. What stays in here, what you say to yourself, is more important than what's in the external. The internal, like you said, Coach, is more important. And I experienced that firsthand as well. When I first came to the States from the Philippines, first few months was very challenging for me. My wife and I got married August 31st, 1997. And 3 weeks
Oh, David
after
born
our,
that time, Bert.
I knew you were going to say that. But 3 weeks after our wedding, I had to come to the States. We were in our honeymoon stage. Just 3 weeks after, 3 weeks after our wedding, I have to go because I have a contract to fulfill. And guess what? I didn't see her again for 1 year and 7 months.
Wow.
There were times in my life where early morning or dawn, 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, I would wake up and I just want to run outside naked. That's what's going through my mind. I just want to run outside naked. And I didn't realize that right there is already something that's going on through my mind. I'm like, if I would describe it today, I think that's depression or anxiety or whatever you want to call it. But I stayed through with it. I reset, I regrouped. And in my mind, I told myself, look, if I want to make this work, I better stay tough mentally. I better reach into my spiritual strength, my connection with the Lord and Savior. And I prayed every day. I knelt down every day, first thing I do in the morning. And in my mind, I said to myself, my wife is depending on me to make this work. I got to make this work. I got to stay strong. And I put that on the wall in the room where I was staying. I was living with family in Florida. I was living with my aunt, my cousin, my uncle. And I thank God for them for supporting me. And 1 year, 7 months, I came home, saw my wife again, and the rest is history. So for those of you who are listening tonight and you feel down and you feel like, life is not being fair, I tell you, you can beat this. You can do this. You can rise up and be strong again. Reach out to someone, reach out to Coach Marianne, reach out to me, reach out to Mike if you just want to talk, and we'll talk this through. All right? So, Coach, anything you want to add to that?
I would just say what holds you back is not your competition, is not COVID, it's not the government, it's not the stock market. What holds you back is not out there, it's in here. It's in here. And every thought that you write has the opportunity. You think, I'm too young, I can't do that. I'm too old, I'll never do that. I don't have the right degree. I don't come from the right family. No, it's every thought that you tell yourself, like what Coach Mike said, what you focus on expands. And so write that story of empowerment, write that story of success, and more success will start to show up for you.
Amen to that. Wow. That's awesome. Mike, anything you want to add on?
Oh wow! I just wanted to say, what holds you back is actually in here, ladies and gentlemen. If you to tell the truth, before I came here in the States, I imagined myself being a physical therapist again. So for those people who don't know, I finished my degree in 1999 back home, and I never practiced physical therapy until I came here in the States around 2010, 2011, around that time. And I didn't know what physical therapists do. For 10 years, I didn't work. And I was like, gosh, how do I do this? And you know what I did? I imagined myself, pushing a wheelchair. I imagined myself treating a patient. And you know what I did? What else I did? There wasn't Facebook that time. It was Friendster, during that time. I posted a picture in Friendster, and I printed out and put it on my wall that someday I'm going to be that person. And this is a true story. We didn't have a fancy car back home. I drove a green Volkswagen Beetle, and the old one, not the new one. And my wife always wanted a silver minivan. In the Philippines, it was called the Hyundai
Yeah.
Starex. She wanted that. I cannot afford it that time, ladies and gentlemen. She printed it out, and you know what she did? She kept on declaring. Guess what I did that time? I told her, we cannot afford this. Why are you printing this picture and putting it in your dresser and in her cabinet? And myself, Michael Chua, I was putting my wife down for not believing in her. So you also got to watch who you listen to, ladies and gentlemen. Even your wife or your spouse, There sometimes they will put you down too. Sometimes, okay. And I was putting her down, my wife. She said, "Someday I'm gonna have that car." I'm like, I can't even afford it. How can you afford it? And guess what? Unknowingly, I came here in the States. You know what I bought? A silver minivan. It wasn't the same van because there was no Hyundai van here, but unknowingly, unconsciously, I bought it for her, and I didn't realize. And now she drives a fancier car than me. I'm like, gosh, just because we have changed that mindset, the limiting belief that we put in our lives, we always put that ceiling. Hey, I this is only what I can do. There's so much potential in you, ladies and gentlemen. There's so much potential in you, but before you can achieve your next level, you have to change your mindset. You have to change what's in here, not in here and in here, like what Coach is saying. So, Bert.
All right. Yeah, before we go on a quick break, I just want to share with our audience that you can get Coach Marianne's limiting belief worksheet if you go to mariannerenner.com/belief. That's MARIANN as in Nancy, ERENN as in Nancy, ER.com/belief. And as a matter of fact, we will put that in our comments section, so you guys can just copy and paste. I am doing that right now. Copy, and where do we go? Maybe our producers in the background can copy and paste it for us because it's not letting me. But it's mariannerenner.com/belief. The other thing that you can grab is a book by Coach Marianne at Amazon.com, Chaos to Clarity Success Journal. It's at Amazon.com, Chaos-Clarity-Success Journal. So, our producer said it's flashing on screen, so you guys should have it. There you go. It's showing the screen right now. All right, so we're gonna go on a quick break, and then we will head into our final segment of our show tonight. And many of you don't know this is our last episode for this season, so we want to thank everyone. But Mike will talk about that when we get back after a short break. See you in a minute.
Welcome back to iBusiness again, where we help you improve your influence and impact. Again, this is Mike Chua coming live from Martin, Tennessee. If you are still watching live, please comment live. If you're watching on the replay, please comment replay. I see Kobe. Thank you very much. Kobe said, "Hi, sweet Coach Marianne. Nice smile." Yep. How about my smile, Kobe? What do you think? My smile is good too, man. Come on now, Kobe. Look at Bert's smile. You got all this nice white teeth. I also I haven't been to the dentist. I got to go to my dentist. And Mr. Michael Felix is watching. Thank you very much for watching. Mr. Michael Felix, I used to work with him back home in the Philippines, but he here he is here in the States too. So thank you very much for watching, Mr. Mike. I appreciate you. And of course, the people in the Alternative Careers group, thank you very much for watching. Well, are we going to bring Coach Marianne back?
Of course, every minute of it, every minute we can get from her, is a very valuable minute. So, Coach, quick question before we forget. If someone wants to work with you, how can they reach you?
Yeah, they can reach me at Marianne at mariannerenner.com. So it's my name, MARIANNE, at mariannerenner.com, which I think was shared in the chat. MARIANNERENNER. So you can learn more about me there. You can check out my website. You can email me. I promise I'll get back to you, most likely in less than 24 hours.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, Coach, do you normally work with someone one-on-one, or is it going to be a group session?
Yes and yes. So I have individual coaching options. I love working one-on-one clients. And then I also have a group mastermind program and leadership academy program. We're actually going to be getting ready to start a new round of that. And I'm really excited. We're doing some great things in that program. We're always talking about mindset, always building that foundation, talking about how to be of greater influence as a leader and all the tools and strategies you need to be of greater influence. And that works in your business and it works in your marriage.
I agree. We all need that. Right, Mike?
Yep. Bert always says that, he always from what is that? A happy wife is a happy life.
Happy wife, longer life, actually.
Yeah. I think that's it. We have two rules in the Philippines. First rule is the wife is always right. Second rule, if the wife is wrong, go back to rule number 1. So can't beat that. I'm like, duh.
Yeah.
Oh well.
All right. Well, here at iBusiness, we're all about improving your impact in your industry. So, Coach, we're going to ask you that question. How do you think we, as owners of our businesses or as leaders, wherever we're working, if you're in the corporate world, how can someone improve their impact in their industry?
Connection, building relationship. And you know what, Mike and I were just talking about this before we went live, and I was giving him huge props in this area. And that's number 1 key. Relationships are going to return revenues. Relationships are going to return just so much fulfillment and meaning in your life. But if you want to grow in your business, you want to grow in your industry, man, improve your communication, understand the personality styles. I do a lot of DISC training so that you can communicate more effectively with more empathy and service. So I would say service and relationships.
All right. That's awesome. Mike, you want to add anything?
I'm actually writing down those stuff. To tell you the truth, ladies and gentlemen, when we do the interviews here, we're not just really hosting it. We're actually learning. You have to write things down.
Yep, same here.
See, even Bert, the beauty of this show here is not just us to present and promote our guest. The goal is for us to learn. And I'm learning every time I'm here. Imagine that. Bert always tells me this, but I don't believe him. But if I hear it from somebody, not kidding. Come on now. Bert always says this, Mike, relationship over revenue. Relationship over revenue, Michael. And I told him, hey, can you just send me the revenue? I don't want the relationship, but just kidding. So relationship over revenue, ladies and gentlemen. And the next thing what Coach Marianne said is communication. You gotta learn how to communicate, ladies and gentlemen. What kind of words are you saying? Not only to your friends, not only to your clients, communicating to yourself. This power, when you're communicating, when you're talking to yourself, that's very powerful too. It also goes back again to the internal stories that you're saying to yourself. So properly communicating. I was just talking to one of my students today, and we were talking. He wasn't really religious and everything, and he told me, "What's the power of the prayer, Michael? What's the power of the prayer? Well, what does it do? You're talking to someone. You're talking to that statue. You're talking to that cross." I said, "You know what? When you're talking to somebody, you're actually releasing blessing. When that blessing comes, when that prayer goes up, blessing comes down. Same thing when you're communicating with somebody. You got to watch the words that comes out of your mouth, because it becomes your reality, ladies and gentlemen. So whatever comes out of your mouth becomes a reality. If you say positive words, guess what? You're going to get positive results. If you plant an apple seed, what do you get? Apple tree, apple fruit. If you plant an orange seed, what do you get? Orange tree, orange fruit. If you plant a positive word, a positive communication for yourself, to your client, to your community, guess what? You get a positive result. And last but not the least, DISC. And she mentioned about DISC. Well, we're going to ask that. You got to learn how the empathy, the service, empathy and service. The goal here is not just to provide customer service, because everybody's providing great customer service. The goal here is to provide a wowing, empathetic service. Coach, both my coach, Bert, and Marianne.
Go ahead, Coach Marianne, if you want to add something to that.
Yeah, I mean, gosh. Well, so first of all, I mean, if I don't get a chance to say this before we go, I've had so much fun. You guys are the best, and I'm honored to be here with you guys. And it's just, man, this is the best show. Grateful for you. Yeah, there's so many words, gratitude. I got to tell you, you said, I heard you say relationships over revenues. That's the great paradox. When you stop trying to get the revenues, when you focus on the relationships, the revenues come. That's a side effect. But the paradox is you're not focused on that. You're just focused on service, and you're focused on giving. And, I got to tell you, gratitude was one of the first principles that I started practicing when I started to shift my mindset and rewrite my stories. And I love what Mike said, when the prayer goes up, the blessings go down. And, anytime that you are just using words of service and empathy and gratitude, it's like a boomerang, and it just comes back to you. And, sometimes those things that are intangible, they're really the most powerful. Sometimes it's hard to wrap our heads around, but if you try it, it works. And, when I started sharing these principles with my clients, I said, well, gosh, I'm just going to write them down in a book. And so that's the Chaos to Clarity Success Journal. And it helps you rewrite your story about your past, your present, and your future, because that's what we're doing. We're talking about the past, all the things that went wrong yesterday, and how can I rewrite, my story and focus on what was successful. And then, the present, the stories that we tell ourselves. Oh, I hate this COVID stuff, and I hate that, and I hate this about my job. And if you can start to develop gratitude about your present moment, what are all the things you love about right here and now, and then rewriting your story about the future instead of worrying, really writing down those affirmations of what you live, the way what you want, live it now as if it already exists. And so it's that simple.
That's awesome, Coach. That's awesome. It just reminded me of one of the books I read. I think the title is The Traveler. And the summary of that book.
I hope it's not a basketball player, right?
No, the summary of that book really resonates with me. It stays with me all the time. The book is summarized in one sentence. And that it says, the roots of depression, the seeds of depression will never take root in a grateful heart. That stays with me. Be grateful every day, because the seeds of depression will never take root if you have a grateful heart. They don't go together. Okay? So with that, I just want to say we're very grateful for joining us tonight. I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for all the insights and everything you shared with us tonight. I'm pretty sure a lot of our audience will benefit from it. And no, I'm not going to cry tonight. And thank you again, Coach Marianne, for being with us. That's all I can say. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Appreciate you.
You're so welcome, and thank you. It is I feel so honored to have been invited and to spend this time with you both. I'm so grateful to you.
You're welcome.
It's my pleasure for you coming over, Coach. And this is just one of the many that we're gonna continue to do. Any last parting words, Coach, before we
wrap up tonight?
We wrap up.
Yeah, we set all these great goals for our businesses and for our lives, and it is good stuff that we get. But what makes goals so worthwhile is not what you get, it's who you become in the process of pursuing those goals. And who you become is of far greater value. So continue to move from chaos to clarity and become all you were meant to become. Thank you all so much.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I love what she said. It's not what you get, it's who you become. I was just talking about that last night with my girls. It's, yes, you have a destination in life. Yes, but it's the process, it's the journey that you have to enjoy. But before I keep on going and close, I would like to give a special shout out to Mr. Chino Jose Hepte Ahoro. Shout out to Coach Marianne. Thank you very much, Chino, for watching. Appreciate you, brother. And
thank you, Chino.
There you go. And then please check out her website, mariannerenner.com. Go check out also her group. It's such an awesome group. Google it or go Google it in Facebook. It's called From Chaos to Clarity. Ask the spelling Bert, because I don't know how to spell chaos. It is so powerful. Another thing that she said, live it now as it already exists. You may not see it, right? You may not see it. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not yet seen. You may not see stuff right now, ladies and gentlemen. You may not see that you're getting better, but you just keep the faith, ladies and gentlemen. And then Bert is reminding me, Mike, talk about our season here. This is going to be our last episode for the iBusiness show. We are switching it to a different title, but we are going to continue that show to a different show. But Bert, you want to go ahead and close? We got 1 more minute left.
Sure. I want to take this opportunity to thank our producers. Mr. Lloyd Luna, thank you very much for giving us this opportunity. We've learned a lot. Although I missed half of the season because I had COVID, I'm just happy to be back and alive and be with my family. So thank you, Mike, for covering for me while I was gone. Thank you to Apple, to Erwin, and the rest of the producers and all the staff of TNC. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I hope that someday we can come back again once we fix our priorities. There's just so many things on our plates this year, and like Coach said, you just have to focus on what you need to do. And not that I'm saying this is not important to us. I love being in this show. I just have some other things I need to finish first, and I just want to thank you again from the bottom of my heart, Lloyd and Apple. Thank you very much. And Mike, any other words?
Well, before we end, I would like for you guys to always remember the word fast. F-A-S-T, letter F. You have to find friends that will push you to your next level, because again, I always say this, you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with. Who are you hang out with, ladies and gentlemen? Hang out with awesome people. Today, I hang out with my coach, Coach Bert. I hang out with my coach, Marianne. You're hang out with Erwin. You're hang out with Chino. You're hang out with Lloyd and Apple. You're hang out here in TNC. And that will be your average. I always say this. If you go to a barber shop one way or another, you're going to get a haircut. Very, very choose your friends wisely. My mom will always tell this. Tell me who your friends are, and they'll tell you who you are.
That's right.
Only quality people, friends. Only quality people. You know what? I had to reach to Bert because I wanted the quality person inside my group. Letter A, you got to learn how to take action. All the stuff that we're doing is free. It's free. This is channel free. it's not going to do me good. It's not even going to do Bert good. Even Coach Marianne, it's not even going to do her good if you don't take action on it. Take action, guys. Letter S, learn how to share and subscribe. Share and subscribe this show. The more shares, the better. The more subscription, the better. And last but not the least, letter T. Not timeout, not traveler, but teach it. Why? Because when you hear it, you forget. When you see it, you remember. But when you're actually teaching it, just like Bert's doing to me, just like Coach Marianne is doing, the more you understand it. So keep teaching, ladies and gentlemen. Keep sharing, keep taking action, and keep finding that friends. All right? Again, thank you very much. We wish you all the best. Be awesome, be great, be excellent, and we will see you around. Thank you, and this is iBusiness.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you again. Good night.